And there's nothing for it. We don't have anything to hide. So
Nothing.
Go for it. Say what you want to say. But in the end, we are confident we had nothing to do with it. And go ahead, go for it. And the people who know us, who have known us as a family, know us and know that we have nothing to do with this. And for everybody else, you know, people will accuse as much as they want. Go for it. Go right ahead. We are strong enough to take it, and there's nothing that you're going to find on us. And go for it. And at the end of the day, Isabel will be home, and we'll know who did this. And that's all I'm waiting for.
Absolutely.
That's all we're waiting for. We're just waiting for Isabel to come home safe, no matter what it takes. So, you know, what we want is for the public to go out there, keep praying for us, praying for Isabel to come home. The amount of prayers that are coming in is amazing to me. Amazing. The efforts that people are having for Isabel, it to me is just amazing. And right there, that's where the concentration needs to be. The concentration needs to be getting Isabel's face out there, praying for Isabel to come home. And in the end, all these questions that we have will be answered of who did this and why they did it. But for right now, our concentration as a family is bringing Isabel home and having everybody get her picture out there, keep praying for Isabel, and that's it. And if they need to scrutinize us, well, then if that's what they need to waste their time on, we can't help that.
Yeah.
What our concentration is for you guys to get Isabel's picture out there, face out there, get her out there and keep praying and have the community keep praying. The world is praying. We've gotten people from France and Italy and Egypt.
China.
It's amazing. And to me, that's what's going to bring Isabel home. All those prayers, that's what's going to bring Isabel home.
As you navigate through all the questions from the public, the media, the police, who are you leaning on for support? Do you have an attorney?
We don't have an attorney. We don't think we need an attorney.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we need an attorney for.
Right.
And our support is through our families and our friends and God. We've been praying and praying every night, and we have a rosary with our family. Everybody comes over every night, and we pray a rosary.
People are on cell phones right there while we're praying. My family that was here, I did have family support on my side. They live out of town. They were in town. Unfortunately, they're gone now. And Becky's family is still here. And we gather together and we do our rosaries every night.
We have little cell phones all over the table.
For
we
the
have
ones
a couple
who had to
candles,
leave.
and we have her picture up there, and we pray I'm laughing because, we try and do the rosary, and our rosary is probably wrong out of everything, but we laugh because we screw it up, and we try again, and it comforts us, and I think that we've never been this close to God, and us praying it's bringing our family together, and we pray every night, and we pray that Isabel is listening to us and having courage, and so our support, our strength is coming from them, and then the community. Oh my gosh, all those people that have put so much effort at the command center and around town. Oh my God, that right there gives us so much confidence and so much strength, because we're like, oh my gosh, if they have that much, we have to have double that. And
again, we're still raising a family. We cannot shrivel up into that little hole and just and not be there. We're still raising a family. We still have to take care of our boys. We still have to be absolutely as strong as possible, constantly talking to them, constantly praying with them. And with the praying, thank you so much to our church, to Father Miguel, who's made himself readily available any time of the day for us, doing the services that he has for Isabel, for us, the bishop coming and doing a special mass with us. We cannot tell you our gratitude and where we are with the level of prayer that our little girl has brought to this world. I mean, with the exception of 9/11, I cannot imagine another worldwide chain of prayer that has been so significant. And that is where we find some strength, and that is what we feed off of and as well as, you know, just our own faith, and constantly.
Part of the search for Isabel, as you know, has stretched into Mexico, police say, based on some tips. Do you know anyone down there personally who may want to do you or your family harm? Do you owe anybody money?
No.
Is there any possible
No.
connection in your minds
No.
to the
No.
Mexican angle?
There's that part of it is every time I hear it, I'm like, who's gonna take her?
Yeah.
Most of my family's here. Yes, I have a couple family members in Mexico, but none of them that we have ill feelings towards. We're all really close.
Yeah.
They're always, they come up here. We only go down once every blue moon, but there's nobody that we know of that has.
That would be a threat, or that would ever want to cause harm to either our family or especially Isabel.
Everybody loves Isabel. Everybody, all my family, the extended family, everybody loves Isabel. Isabel is that little girl who's a girly girl who loves to just play with you, and all my cousins that are girly girls, they love coming over and getting, Isa loves doing nails and doing your hair, doing her hair, her makeup. So, everybody who knows Isabel is usually, in love with her, and so, and the community can tell you. I mean, they all, because of that,
Absolutely.
how she is. That little girl is so special in too many hearts that there's nobody who has ill feelings.
So you don't owe anybody money? There's
No.
grudge against you that you're aware of?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
We've never asked, or we've never borrowed money, not even from our families, because
Yep.
to me that makes it, that's a
Just
a
a
risk.
line that we don't want to cross. We've never wanted to do that. That's not us.
But the
That
first
is
couple
not
weeks
us at all.
you were hesitant to talk to the media, to speak publicly. What has changed today?
it's the push. When we've been talking to the detectives have been, you really need to push her face out there. You need to remind the community so that hopefully there's somebody out there that knows something about Isabel and can bring that tip in that'll bring her home.
And initially, just again, because it was so fresh, although they never really told us not to speak to the media, they were very specific as far as, being careful those first few days. Don't get out there right away. And then after those first few days, they were even a little bit more, okay, those first few days are over, okay, if you really, they were always leaving it up to us right from the get-go. They never completely said, don't do it. They didn't ever say that. But they did advise us, at least for the first few days of the investigation, to, just let us work, let us get this going. And then even initially when we first put out our statement that we wanted Lieutenant Pacheco to speak for us, that was a step, I felt, in the appropriate direction. But even seeing that first press conference, my gosh, we were a mess. We still are a mess. But we are gathering some strength. We are realizing the importance of this. We didn't want the initial, focus on us. We wanted the focus on the investigation, on Isabel. We wanted to be there, right there, for the investigators, for the police, for absolutely anything they needed. I didn't want them to feel that we were too busy doing things like this. I wanted to be right there, readily available for whatever they needed from us, and to push forward, and to make, for everything they needed to do.
Sir, the morning that you discovered Isabel was missing, could you walk us through what you did, the time frame there of, just how long it took you to call the police and such?
I would very much like to. I just don't know if I'm allowed to speak about those specifics, again, for integrity of the investigation. And, I will tell you time frame, within 10 minutes of not seeing her and doing the quickness that we did with my sons of running around and screaming after her, 911 was called.
And you may not be able to answer this question, but do you believe she was taken out the window?
I will say initially, but then after, more investigating, and I don't want to go too far about that, I'm just not sure anymore. And that's as far as I think I should probably speak about that.
You haven't returned home yet. I know that we saw you at the home of detectives earlier this week. We saw the maids there yesterday and all. What's going on with your house right now? You can tell us, when will you go back, and what vibe do you get walking in there now?
So first, going into the house, for me especially, I think just because that's where it's kind of been, and now the boys too, it's hard for us even that first night that we walked into the house because everything is Isabel. So it's hard
Everything in that house.
want to walk in there and see all her stuff. We still had toys, that she had been playing with around the house. So
Writing on the wall, the crayons, the words, everything, her pictures, everything on the fridge, absolutely everywhere you look in the house. She is there. And that very first night, that Saturday night, when we were allowed back into the house, oh my gosh, it was awful. We curled up, the four of us curled up on our bed, held each other tight. Sleep was very minimal. I could hear them when they fell asleep, my boys, and hear them breathing heavy, and held them tighter. And they even said how uncomfortable they felt there. They couldn't look around. It was extremely painful, extremely painful. And since then, yes, we've gone back and forth to gather a few things, but obviously when we surrendered our house and said, do what you will, do what you will.
And it's hard for us to want to go back because, one, our baby girl was taken from there, so the security and that safety net of our house is not there, or at least it doesn't feel like it's there. The second thing is, they used a lot of chemicals, especially in the kids' rooms, the boys and Isa's room, for evidence collection, and so we couldn't take the kids in there without having it professionally removed. So that's another thing why we weren't about to risk our kids getting sick for whatever that stuff is.
Right. And we did want to wait. We asked permission. Is it all right if we get the house cleaned now? And
we did.
We had to ask permission. And they said, yes, it's okay to go ahead and get the house cleaned. So at least that measure has been taken. And we are obviously hoping to get back in there soon.
I've heard different stories about the timeline on Friday night. I've also heard rumors about a possible party at your house on Friday night. Was there anything of that sort, and was there anybody other than your family at your home on Friday night?
No.
There was no party either.
I mean, we were at my son Julian's baseball game. All of us were there.
That's where we were. All of us, and just the family.
Yeah.
And then my brothers and everybody else, they were doing their thing. I don't even know where they were, but they were not with us. So the only people that were with us was our immediate family.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Tucson police should have eliminated you as possible suspects by this time?
They have to do the whatever they have to do to find Isabel. So I would love to say that they should be done already, but whatever they need to do, go for it.
Yes. I mean, to answer the question truthfully, yes, absolutely. However, we understand they got to cover absolutely everything, and that's where we are. And that's where we are with that.
The immediate family now, we've seen a lot of an uncle. We talked to a young man who's their uncle yesterday. And how much family do you have here, and who is Isabel, beyond you, closest with now? Or her confidant, her...
It's mostly us. Like my brothers and my cousins and everybody around town, even grandparents. She's close, but the closeness is still right here.
Yeah.
We're the closest, but all her uncles and her aunts and.
I mean, they help us out. They pick up the kids from school when we can't. Her aunt, godmother, she is very close with her, and she does help us out, and in picking the kids up, getting them to school when we can't, and then her brothers, to help us out again, picking them up from school. So there are people that are close to her as well as my sons, and they share the same feelings we do. They are hurting just as bad as we are. And again, without any reservations, we asked everybody be checked out.